I define success as doing what you're passionate about doing to the degree in which you feel satisfied.
Who do you look at?
Did that make any sense? Yeah. So I've been kind of making like short films and stuff with buddies, some neighborhood friends since I was a little kid, with you. And then after my sophomore year of high school, I wrote a feature-length screenplay my sophomore year, and it was about girls and getting girls, because that was the big, I guess that was the biggest part of my life at that time. So it's this movie about a medallion called the Medallion of Man, and any guy who wears it, any girl who looks at him instantly falls in love with him. So I made this film. It was about 80 minutes long, and I showed it in an Ultrastar movie theater at the end of summer, and that was kind of like my first feature. And then I started writing all throughout my junior year of high school. If you ask my teachers, they all thought I was taking notes in class with my computer, but I was actually writing my movie, and just constantly writing. Like I'd wake up at 5 in the morning to do my homework, because I would do my movie every night after I got home from school. So the movie I did last summer was called Night Sights, and that was a feature film that I actually worked with adults and professional actors, people that weren't just people that I knew as friends. They're professionals in the field, and I had a story that was a little bit more serious. It was a sci-fi drama, and I had a crew that was bigger, a bunch of different people from different film schools. So again, it's just like challenging myself to take that next leap. And actually, I just just got accepted into this film festival called the National Film Festival for Talented Youth, which is the world's biggest youth film festival. But that was one of my original goals before starting out the film, is to make it there, because Medallion of Man didn't get into that one.
Something very peculiar is happening at night. No man-made technology can reveal the phenomena. When news reached the president of Vast Globe's recent findings, the project came to new light and was reopened. And by order of the president, I am to oversee this mission.
There are 6 states and thousands of counties in the Southwest. Mr. Pelletier and I have discussed narrowing our preliminary investigation to a small town.
This is our place, man.
Perception takes over. Nothing seems trivial.
What is it that you see at night?
Those people, the ones you see in the night with the glassed over eyes, they come with cases, jars, whatever they can get their hands on. They're the collectors of the souls, loved ones of the passed on.
You have been exposed to something truly remarkable. And because of that, we would like to keep you here for a little while to ask you some more questions about your night sightings.
You saw it, Abby, didn't you? Yeah, you saw it.
That's what I was actually kind of worried about at first going into it. I think that what made adults, I guess, basically respect me rather than parent me on a movie set was that I came prepared, like I knew what I was doing, and I wrote the script too, and so I had this really this connection with the movie, like I knew it really well, and I knew it better than anyone on the set, so it's kind of like they had no choice but to listen. And the thing is, like, I think when you find passionate people, you want to listen to passionate people. So I tried to be as passionate. I was as passionate about this project. So I think that they wanted to listen to me. When I first premiered the film in a movie theater with the actors and stuff, one of them got on stage and somebody asked him the question, like, what was it like working with someone younger than you? And actually, that's when I heard for the first time, like, what was going on in their mind working with someone younger. And he just was saying that pretty much that. The fact that I didn't act like I was younger, not in the sense of, you know, I wasn't like an authoritarian like leader on the film set, you know, like it was just the fact that I knew like what I wanted, and you know, I didn't think about my age at all. Kind of once I got started with it, it felt like, you know, it felt natural to me. Just anything. You know, you can always use whiteout when you're out, you know, and
Yeah.
you never know.
Or you never know when you're
Reading glasses,
reading
when you're
glasses.
at the diner with the group,
Yeah,
yeah.
take that, and that's
Well,
it.
pour
Or a hole punch.
Yeah, beer.
So when I get
a
your
drawer of goodies
for my journal.
you have your
A mint, I think that's the winner.
There it is.
So yeah, grab it and spin around,
Well, I'll be there for,
and then just
for the 10 a.m. shoot.
do the voicemail, and again, and it's just kind of really antsy, to get out of here, just everything you're doing. But when you start to say it, you can sort of almost stop yourself and sort of slow down as you continue with it.
Because you want to get
Because the rest of it will play over.
and you want to get it all on
Talking
camera.
about.
You'll use
Right.
We're talking about tomorrow.
So you can do the whole thing, right? You can
Take
get
a
the line.
forerunner, that's right.
Good. Let's do it then. I'm happy. So I grew up, it was just me, my mom, my dad, and my sister. But my dad got really sick when I was in 5th grade, and he passed away when I was in 5th grade. So I pretty much just lived in a house with my mom and my sister. And before my dad got sick, he lived in a really small house by the beach, and all we would do all day long is watch movies, because that's all there was to do in his house. So I grew up constantly watching movies, and then once he got sick and he passed away, there's that, you know, a lot of like sadness in the house and stuff, and I realized how much I didn't like people being upset, and that was kind of the reason why I started to make movies and do plays and stuff, is because I liked to entertain people. Well, I'd say like I'm passionate about life in general. You know, but like specifically, like you know, obviously movie making, movies, everything to do with them, like entertainment. I love plays. I love going to see theater, just like kind of anything when people are telling a story. I love when people are kind of brought out of their life, and when people have the capacity to bring people out and give them happiness. You know, I'm passionate about like laughter. You know, I just like laughing and being with friends and stuff. But I think a lot of kind of that stems from like when, you know, like when I lost my dad, and kind of seeing that like finish line, you kind of realize how short of a life I guess you have. And so I try to be as passionate about everything I do. Watching movies motivate me to make movies. Seeing successful people motivate me. Being around successful people. I think that's half of the trick of being successful, is surrounding yourself by people who, not successful people, but driven people. That motivates me a lot. To motivate myself, I kind of like to, I think routine is the biggest thing to just keep me constantly motivated. I have a routine of like writing. I carry a black moleskin notebook with me all the time, which I write my ideas down. Constantly surrounding myself with the things I love motivate me. Because I've noticed it, like being like, if I'm on vacation or like away with friends for a while, I'm not around the motivational things, I like don't do what I love. So I think half the battle is surrounding yourself with things that constantly remind you to do what you love doing, and then it'll easily do it. So mostly movies for me. I look up to a bunch of people, people that are big and successful. I look up to Steven Spielberg, you know, not just because of his fame, but the way in which he acquired his fame, and the way in which he kind of, you know, I kind of feel like I'm trying to follow his footsteps. You know, you know, he started making movies when he was a kid, and he just kept doing it and got where he is. Like closer by, I'm motivated. I'm not gonna lie, I'm motivated by you guys right now, who are interviewing me, because you're doing something that you're passionate about, and that you've been working hard, and like you're making it happen, and that motivates me to keep doing the things I want to do. I want to make a movie. I think a good movie does 3 things. It takes people out of the world that they're living in. Whether it takes them to a good world or a bad world, it can take them out completely. 2 is that when they leave the theater, they feel impacted in some way, and they're thinking about it. And 3, this one kind of just applies to me, but it makes me want to make a movie. So maybe it can make other people want to make a movie too. But I think that the movies that I want to make are movies they entertain, but not necessarily just like Indiana Jones up out of your seat, but something, I think entertainment is distraction, and so I want to be able to distract people. I don't want to give them a movie that's completely real life, because if I wanted to watch real life for 2 hours, I would go live for 2 hours outside of a movie theater. I want to watch something that's different, that's something you can't experience on your own. So I think one of the real reasons why I like making movies is because I want to do everything in life, and you can't physically do that. But when you make a movie, you can make a movie about anything you want. So you can kind of be a creator of your own little 2-hour life of anything that you want to do. You know, like, we are all creations of, you know, God. But I think that being a filmmaker kind of makes you be a creator in a sense, and then you can kind of create your own little worlds, and it allows me to get the most out of life. So I guess the kind of movies I want to make are movies that give people a different world that they can't necessarily experience on their own. So whether that be sci-fi, comedy, adventure, I like them all. I like watching them all. I like making them all.
So recently you were rejected by USC.
Yep.
What has that motivated you at all? Because I know a big person in your life that you look up to is Steven Spielberg, and he was rejected multiple times.
Yeah.
How do you look at that rejection, and how are you gonna push yourself to move forward?
Well, yeah, Steven Spielberg was rejected from USC 3 times, actually. So that was kind of my excuse as to why I didn't get in, because he didn't get in 3 times. But I think that it was probably the best thing that's happened. I haven't actually been at LMU yet. I got accepted to LMU Film School. But I just know from being there and people being there and people that are at USC Film School, I don't think there's anything wrong with either, but I think the fact that I'm not surrounded by a bunch of people who are in the best film school in the world, I think that's probably good for me, because to be around a bunch of people who are in the best institution, you know, they might have this feeling of, you know, like, I'm the best, and everyone who has dreams to pursue, you know, you've got to have in your mind that, like, I want to be the best. But I don't know how well of a working environment that would have been in to, like, be with other people who you know, all think that they're, you know, the best. I mean, that's kind of my excuse as to why it's okay I'm not going there. You know, I mean, it is, like, it's got, you know, a lot of really cool resources and stuff, but, you know, I think I'm a big fan of it is what you make of it, and I think that it's actually kind of cooler to be in a place where maybe I need to work a little harder to make the most of it, as opposed to a place where going there people expect that they're going to be made the most of, if you know what I'm saying, you know? I am missing a tooth. That's fake. Yeah. Yeah, you should see his face. Yeah, that's a fake tooth. I was born without it. Whenever I eat, I do this thing. If you ever see me eat, if you're around me, I'll kind of like look like I'm looking at something, and I'll take it out really quick, and then I'll look back behind to like eat my food. And no one notices it until like I smile while I'm eating, and I just like turn back around and I'll put it in, and like, yeah, that's my little trick.
Have you ever lost your tooth?
No, but I broke it. It's broken right now, but like it can still fit, so it's good. So that's it.
Movies.
I want to find my favorite movie just so I can answer it to situations like this, but like I don't, like there's too many. Like 3, I can name 3. Blazing Saddles, Mel Brooks. Don't know why, I love watching that movie. I've probably seen it 20 times. Transformers 2, Revenge of the Fallen. A lot of people don't like the movie, but for some reason, I just love it. I love it. I just want to I want to make it. And then 3 is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's a Steven Spielberg film, because that really influenced me to make Night Sights, and I've seen that a bunch of times, so that's definitely one of my favorites. I like doing plays. I act in at my school's plays. 1, because it's just fun, and I like taking on the personas of other people, and 2, because it gives me that knowledge of what an actor feels like, and I think being a good director and a good filmmaker is knowing the actor, and a lot of student filmmakers like to make movies because they like the technological side and they like the special effects and the computer stuff, but I'm trying to differentiate myself by really directing for the actor, because when people watch movies, they really look at the actor and at the acting, and so I do plays so that I can get that edge. You can find my stuff. I have stuff on my Facebook, but Night Sights the movie. It's nightsightsthemovie.com, and then I have a YouTube channel too. It's youtube.com/bubblegoose12345. I made it when I was in 5th grade from South Park, and that's got some of my short films on it. The film I submitted to college, the Night Sights trailer, and you can see my stuff at thestoriesofsuccess.com. My trailer's on there, and more an article about some of the other stuff I've done. Definitely check that out. Books I recommend. Number 1, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Read it again. Matt's reading it right now because it just teaches you how to handle people. And you're not going to get anywhere in life unless you know how to treat people right. 2, I'm reading this book called Automatic Millionaire. And it's, I mean, to me, it's not all about getting money at all. In fact, that's like a small part of, about why I do what I love. But it's a smart book about teaching you how to be smart with your money and smart with your choices you make in life. So I like that book. And then also, I recommend reading the Bible because so much of life, being successful in life, is not just being successful in your trade or in your craft, but it's being successful in, I think, mind, body, and spirit. And I think if you've got the spiritual side, then you can truly be successful. Before I die, before I die, I want to be able to have touched and seriously, inspired an audience with a movie I've made. Just something that people can remember, because that's my goal.
How about more in depth as awards or something? Because I've already seen your movie and I've already been inspired, so you've already accomplished that. So how about, is it a Grammy? Is it an Oscar? What do you?
I'd love to get an Oscar. I'll be honest. A lot of people do interviews and they say it's not about the awards. I want an Oscar. I want to go on stage and I want to thank people. So yeah, I would love to get an Oscar. And I would love to, make a film that's just a very renowned film, just something people talk about, something people talk about as much as I don't know, what's a good movie people talk about a lot? The Notebook, The Notebook, something in its genre that is just notable, that everybody knows. Not necessarily the highest grossing film, not necessarily the most critically acclaimed film, but something that people just is everyone knows that movie. I want to have a movie like that.
All right.
What I would say is that there's a lot of kids and a lot of people who dream a lot, who have dreams, and they spend all their time dreaming. And I dream a lot. I dream before I go to bed. I dream when I'm asleep. I dream when I wake up, and I dream all throughout the day. But I think that the biggest difference between people who are successful and not is people who bring those dreams and they turn them into projects and they turn them into something tangible that you can continuously work on. Because in your own head, you can be as successful as you want by dreaming your success. But if you want your success to be in life, to be on this earth, if you want your success to impact others, not just yourself, if success was all just about your personal feeling of success, I feel like everyone can find your own success by imagining it enough. But I think that the reason why people want success is because they want to affect others by their success, and they want others to think of them as successful, So I think that the way to do that is to bring it out of your head and make it into a project and make it into something that you can collaborate with others, work with others on, and just constantly stay busy with something, constantly make your mind move. For kids specifically, in high school, and I've faced the exact same thing, but all the distractions and everything being in high school, and there's that part of your brain that says, this is the most fun time of my life, I want to just enjoy it, I want to just go out and be, relax, be with friends and all that. And to be successful doesn't mean that you throw all that away and you focus completely on just work, because if you work all the time, after 70 years of your life, you're going to burn out of it. You got to find that balance. And so I think that that's the other key is first, turn your dreams into project, and second is find your balance in life. Balance your work with your fun, because everyone deserves to have fun. You hear that people who are the hardest workers don't have a lot of fun, and that's because, if you want to stay balanced, these people are kind of a lot more on this side of being successful, so their fun, is kind of down here. But again, like as a kid, we have a lot more room to have fun because, we don't have to worry about like where we live and all that kind of stuff. So this is our time to keep it pretty even balanced because in life, it is going to get harder. And, I think the other thing is I always think it's kind of like a race. I think it's like I just have to keep going and keep going and keep making more films, which I think I do in order for me to be where I want to be in life. But my mom keeps telling me that, if you're going to make films the rest of your life, you better start living now at the same time. So that's the trick, is I can't tell you how much of now you got to live and thinking about the future, but you got to balance the two some way. And for each person, it's different. Well, I think that hopefully I've got a long way to go before I'm actually successful, because I hope this isn't success yet, because I want more. But I think that the thing is that I'm actively pursuing what I love, and I think that's what makes me, quote, successful, is because I'm not letting certain things get in my way of that. So maybe I'm more successful in my approach towards success, I think is probably the best thing, because I'm still like young, but I think that I definitely have challenged myself in doing things that not everyone does, because I like don't want to just do what other people do. So for making the 2 films I made the past 2 summers, I just realized a lot of kids like to make short films, like to do things, put them up on YouTube and all that. I wanted to make a full feature-length film, and I didn't think age or anything like that was a barrier. So maybe success in the fact that that I stuck to what I wanted to do, because a lot of people have dreams, and I think the difference between a successful person is one person that has dreams and one person that does the things that they dream about. And I'm a doer.